מזמור לדוד. אדוני אלוהי לא יחסר, בינות אש ירביצני, על מי מנוחות ינהלני. נפשי ישובב, ינחני במגלי צדק, למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא ירא רע, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי. דשנת בשם ראשי, כוסי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים.
As Cantor Schiffman began our service by reciting the words of Psalm 23 in the Hebrew, please join with me in reciting them in the English. The Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guides me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We gather here this afternoon filled with incredible love and admiration. A very difficult day to say goodbye to our beloved Eunice Leizman, a loving daughter, a loving sister, a loving wife, a loving mother, a loving aunt, and a loving friend. In our Bible, there's a passage that is traditionally recited to wives and mothers. Every Friday night at the Shabbos table, it's called Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor. And our Eunice was most certainly a woman of valor. Eshet Chayil meyimsa v'racha mipnim michra, batak bale bala v'shala lo yichzar. What a precious find is a woman of valor. Her worth is far beyond rubies. Her husband puts his confidence in her and lacks no good thing. She's good to him, never bad, all the days of her life. She opens up her hand to the needy. She extends her hand to the poor. She's clothed with strength and splendor. She looks to the future cheerfully. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue is guided by kindness. She oversees the activities of her household and never eats the bread of idleness. Her children come forward and bless her. Her husband praises her, saying, "Many women have done superbly, but you surpass them all." Charm is deceitful and beauty vain. A God-fearing woman is much to be praised. Extol her for the fruits of her hand, and whenever people gather, her deeds shall always speak her praise. The rabbis teach a very interesting lesson. They say that the day of one's death should be more precious than the day of our birth. It's not an easy concept to take in, that the day of our death should be more precious than the day of our birth. And the rabbis compare our lives to that of a ship, of a boat. Maybe you've been on a cruise ship or seen ships that leave a harbor, a port, with great fanfare, parades, bands playing, banners, streamers, sending the ship out. But the rabbis say there is little to rejoice at the moment of beginning, because no one knows what seas and storms will come upon that ship on its journey, what challenges, what obstacles lay in its way, and how that ship will make its way. But the rabbis say that when a ship returns to port, when it returns home safely, that is time to be thankful and to celebrate. And so, as we gather today to remember Eunice in love, Eunice has returned home, just as that ship has returned to the harbor, and we must celebrate 88 wonderful years, for she has gone and left us with a good name. Eunice leaves behind many in mourning, her beloved husband, life partner, confidant, best friend of more than 66 years, Hugh William. Eunice leaves her daughter, Joni, brother-in-law, Mickey, sister-in-law, Ruthie, brother-in-law, Dr. Albert in Florida, brother and sister-in-law, Aaron and Riva, and many, many adoring nieces and nephews. And Eunice now returns and is reunited with her beloved son, Jack, who left this world 35 years ago. She returns to her parents, Gertrude and Erwin Milner of blessed memory, her sister Donna, siblings-in-law, William and Sally. She joins them all in their eternal home in heaven. Sweet, kind, and giving, Eunice was simply the best. She had incredible empathy and compassion. She was quiet and unassuming, but very observant. She took everything in. She picked up on things that most people would miss. She knew just what you needed. She shared her kindness with you, always with her great sense of humor. She was quite funny, you know. And that humor must have passed down with Joni's career in the improv and comedy in L.A. In a word, Uni was delightful. Artistic, she had an incredible eye. She herself was an artist and designer. Eunice was appreciative, always able to express gratitude to all those who made an effort to be with her. Those who were friendly and helpful to her. A great model for all of us to live by. Born and raised here in Cleveland Heights, Eunice graduated from Heights High, went on to get her degree from Ohio State University, continuing post-grad work, graduating from Pratt Institute of Fashion Design in New York, returning to Cleveland to work and to meet her bashert, her soulmate William, at a party. I asked Bill what clicked that night that he met his beloved Eunice. He told me she was simply nice, interesting, kind, and helpful from that first date until your last moments together. You were married on August 2nd, 1951 in Shaker Heights. You had such a special relationship, always there for each other. You told me that you love how Uni was so helpful to your family, how she took care of your mother Jenny with her health problems, how she was always looking over you, taking incredible interest in your needs, always telling you to put on your jacket. You love going out to dinner together, going to the theater, traveling down to Florida in the winters, especially going to the Hollywood area, and even bringing the family together for Pesach in Florida. Eunice was an incredible mother, always there for Joni and Jack. Joni remembers how Mom was always teaching her to be kind and caring, taking her to museums, teaching her about art, how she painted you as a child. Her paintings and chalk drawings are all around the house in Dad's office. And you shared this story with me about a time when you were growing up. You told me that Mom would take you on walks around the neighborhood and that there was always the same boy in the park that was in a wheelchair and no one was ever near him. No one would talk to him. And so Mom would walk over and engage him, introduce herself and talk with him, and she encouraged you to do the same, to introduce yourself and to talk with him. Over time, you talked to him a lot, and he got sick and sicker, and you'd visit him in his apartment, Mom taught you to never be afraid to go up and talk with someone different than you. Uni would literally give you the clothes off of her own back. Her sister-in-law Ruthie was young at the time, and Ruthie was going on her first date. Uni saw what Ruthie was planning to wear and told her to put it away. And Uni gave Ruthie her beautiful fur-lined jacket. Aunt Uni was the best. She loved to take her nephews on adventures around town, and there are so many Aunt Uni stories. She was an artist and designer. Yes, she did work at the telephone company as an operator, but that wasn't quite her forte. She was a secretary for industrial rayon, but she also worked in fashion at Manette's hand painting, designs on women's clothing, designing for Gottfried Company shirts, taking many, many classes at the Cleveland Institute of Arts. A cook in the early years, raising a young family, over time, Eunice and William ate most of their meals out. All the chefs and the waitresses throughout town knew them and loved them. You'd pick out faraway restaurants to try out because Uni loved going for a ride. You'd drive to Akron or Mentor for dinner. Of course, her favorite restaurant was right around the corner, Jack's Deli. She loved to share food. Her favorite meal was half a corned beef sandwich, matzo ball soup, and hot tea. It was her order, her favorite. Eunice also loved sweets. She was a nosher. She could never say no to ice cream or cookies. When she'd be doing therapy at home, walking laps around the house, she'd always stop each lap in the kitchen to grab a cookie. Though not a cook these last years, she still made the best steak and lamb chops in town. She loved her cat Tiger, who slept in the basement on her own waterbed. Uni was a longtime member of our synagogue and B'nai Yeshurun's sisterhood and the Flower Club. Eunice and William raised the family in their home on Edgerton in University Heights. Oh, how she loved the house. She loved sitting out in the sun in those big red chairs with her William by her side. She loved that big shrub near the living room window where the birds would land to eat the berries. She'd sit in that living room with Della and watch those birds for hours. Oh, how it gave her so much joy. Della has been Eunice's aide for many years. Really, aide is the wrong word. You've been Eunice's angel for many years, with the patience of a saint. The family is so appreciative of the loving care that you provided to really the entire family. Joni, you shared with me that Mom learned to use the computer and you would email back and forth. You'd send her movies and TV shows in the mail to watch, like The Sopranos. You loved making Mom smile. She was so happy when she'd see you perform on TV. She kveld so much, shepping nachas in joy. You were so close, even though you were living out in L.A. You would call Mom every single night. In fact, you told me it didn't feel right unless you spoke to Mom daily. Every night, Joni, you would call Mom and say, "Hi, Mom, it's Joni. How are you?" And every night, Mom would answer, "Oh, I'm hanging in there." I know how much, Joni, you're going to miss those calls and hearing Mom say that. And Bill, you've lost the love of your life, your best friend, and your partner. But I know that you gave her everything. You gave her your all. And she looked over you too, making sure that you had everything that you need to build this family, to build your professional career as a lawyer, and to do everything that you do for your community and friends and all that you love. We can surely say today that Eunice has returned home, like that ship that has returned safely to the harbor. She is now at peace, suffering no more. May her name always bring us blessings. Tehin Zichrono Baruch, and we say, Amen. We'll rise now for the memorial prayer.
אל מלא רחמים, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השכינה. במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, נשמת שינה בת יצחק, שהלכה לעולמה. בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה. אהנה בעל הרחמים, אז תראה בסדר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה. אדוני הוא נחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה. ונאמר אמן.
Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure, to the soul of our beloved Eunice Leizman, Shena Bat Yitzchak, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May she merit the reward for living a life filled with kindness, righteousness, and love. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. May she rest in peace. And we say, Amen. Please be seated. Interment will follow immediately after the service at Mount Olive Cemetery. And the family will be sitting Shiva today at Montefiore Home in Beechwood on Cedar from 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock. And also the family will be sitting Shiva on Sunday at the Hamptons Community Room from 1 o'clock till 3:30.